Oh, hello everybody again. This is Steve, and I'm going to read to you today some of the things from my book, ENOCH INSIGHTS, specifically about the throne of God and about the crystalline structure of a heavenly city in particular. To show you, the book of Enoch is not just about monsters and horrible giants and devilish fallen angels. That's part of it, but there's a lot more in the book of Enoch. And this time I'm dealing especially with the throne of God. I think you'll find this very interesting. So here's chapter 14 of the book Enoch, and this is taken from my book Enoch Insights. And we'll go straight to verse 5. And it says, "And the vision was shown to me thus. Behold, in the vision clouds invited me, and a mist summoned me, and the course of the stars and lightning sped and hastened me, and the winds in the vision caused me to fly, and lifted me upward, and bore me into heaven." Now jumping to verse 10. "And I looked and saw therein a lofty throne. Its appearance was as crystal, and the wheels thereof as a shining sun. And there was the vision of the cherubim. And from underneath the throne came streams of flaming fire, so that I could not look thereon. And a great glory sat thereon. And his raiment shone more brightly than the sun, and was whiter than any snow. This is very interesting because we find the exact same thing in the book of Revelation. If we go to the book of Revelation and we look at verses 2 and 3 in chapter 4, it says here, "And immediately I was in the Spirit, and behold, a throne was set in heaven, and one sat on the throne. And he that sat was to look upon like a jasper and a sardine stone. And there was a rainbow round about the throne in sight like unto an emerald. And round about the throne were 24 seats, and upon the seats I saw 24 elders sitting, clothed in white raiment, and they had on their heads crowns of gold. And out of the throne proceeded lightnings and thunderings and voices, and there were 7 lamps of fire burning before the throne, which are the 7 spirits of God. And before the throne there was a sea of glass like unto crystal. And in the midst of the throne, and round about the throne, there were 4 beasts full of eyes, full and behind." It is amazing to me how consistent scriptures are, whether you're reading the Bible, the book of Revelation, or reading the book of Enoch, or book of Daniel, or other apocryphal books, or other Hebrew Jewish books of old. They're all very consistent, which is very illuminating and very helpful indeed. I'll also read you a bit more here. Here are some other Bible verses. Revelation 7:15. "Therefore are they before the throne of God, and serve him day and night in his temple. And he that sits on the throne shall dwell with them." And here's another verse. Daniel 7:9. "I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the ancients of days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, his wheels as burning fire." Revelation 1:14. "His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, eyes as a flame of fire." Revelation 1:15. "And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace. And his voice as the sound of many waters." Ezekiel 1:13. "As for the likeness of the living creatures, their appearance was like burning coals of fire, like the appearance of lamps that went up and down among the living creatures. And the fire was bright, and out of the fire went forth lightning." This is verse 11 from Enoch 14, chapter 14. "None of the angels could enter and could behold his face by reason of the magnificence and glory. No flesh could behold him. The flaming fire was round about him, and a great fire stood before him. None around could draw nigh unto him. 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him, yet he needed no counselor. Here are some excellent Bible verses which concur. Daniel 7:10, a fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. Revelation 1:16, and out of his mouth went a sharp two-edged sword, and his countenance was as the sun shines in his strength. Verse 12, Enoch 14:12, and the most holy ones who were nigh to him did not leave by night, nor depart from him, and until then I had been prostrated on my face, trembling, and the Lord called me with his own mouth and said to me, Come hither, Enoch, and hear my word. And one of the holy angels came to me and waked me, and he made me rise up and approach the door, and I bowed my face downwards. Daniel 7:15, I, Daniel, was grieved in my spirit in the midst of my body, and the vision of my head troubled me. Revelation 1:17, when I saw him, I fell at his feet as dead. He laid his right hand upon me, saying unto me, Fear not, I am the first and the last.